Hello, everybody. Again, I'm the Disgruntled Bassist.
Welcome back. Depending on the speed of your internet connection, you may have waited less time than us to start recording again.
Was that some sort of poke at me?
No. Oh, was some sort of poke at the internet audience with less speed than us.
Let's keep it that way.
All right, then.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, we completely skipped over Huckleberry Finn being reprinted.
Oh, yes, which will probably take up this entire video anyways, because...
Probably. This is probably going to be a 45-minute discussion.
Yes. The reprint of Huckleberry Finn. Okay, for anybody who didn't...
Well, I do hate this with all my spirit. It is a reprint of Huckleberry Finn by New Shore Media. Hold on.
For anybody who didn't hear the story, some publishing company got it in their liberal little heads that they were going to reprint Huckleberry Finn and take out every instance of the word nigger and replace it with the word slave.
Now, I went to type in reprint on Google and I typed in replane. I don't even know what I was thinking there. Hold on. New South Books is reissuing Mark Twain with the word nigger removed and the word slave replaced.
And I'll put a link to
the word engine has also been removed.
And replaced with Native American. I will also put a link to...
Now, the person who came up with this idea, so-called Mark Twain scholar Dr. Alan Gribben, why they would give a man a freaking PhD and a scholarship for studying some old fuck. I don't know. I say old fuck. Mark Twain's one of my heroes, but...
Was he the drunk? No, that was Hemingway, right?
No, Hemingway was a drunk, also one of my heroes.
Wow, that just makes me seem really, really ignorant that I don't know which one was the drunk. Oh, was that the drunk fella?
So, this really pisses me off. Because this isn't just fucking blocking preemptive censorship. This is not only modifying history, but this is just further example of how censorship can fucking finger its way into media.
It's very Ray Bradbury-ish.
Indeed.
If anybody has read Fahrenheit 451, you know what I'm talking about. Something which this was actually something I was talking about with a friend the other day. I said this is an insult not only to Mark Twain, but also to American history. And if Twain had any artistic merit at all, he'd hate them fucking up his work. And by the way, I am reading off text messages that I sent because I can't remember fucking everything that I sent.
He's one of those people who texts.
Yeah, and I'm also one of those people that can actually, remember where I put my phone.
I know where it is. I have a funny story to tell about that, actually, but go on with the Huckleberry Finn thing. We'll discuss it afterwards.
Okay.
Hold on.
A friend of mine, she had mentioned how, Ray Bradbury would not like that. I said, Bradbury and also every other real musician in the nation. We have a kind of common appreciation and pride in our work, such that when we do something, we want it to be kept true to the way it was originally intended to be seen, heard, read, etc. I really respect Jimmy Page because he barely ever lets people use Zeppelin stuff in movies, excuse me. If it were to somehow be only associated, if a song were to somehow only be associated with the band through proxy of that movie, it would really suck. I may sound like Mr. Cynic, But it's far better to
Hey.
toil in obscurity than only become famous by selling out.
Oh, who fucking hell.
If the if the artist did something a certain
I
way he
don't like
wants,
that they sold out. Yeah. Well,
if the artist did something a certain way, he wants it there for a reason. He wants it to be appreciated the way he designed it. So stop fucking with Mark Twain. Thank you.
also, Mark Twain isn't some sort of literal schlock where the word nigger is being thrown around because he was racist. The most sort of hated character in the book, the most ugly character in the book, and I mean that character, I mean that by moral standing, not by physical features. Pat Finn uses the word nigger the most. Mark Twain is mocking the culture he was engrossed in using this book. The word nigger was not meant to offend black people. It was used to make fun of the people who use the word nigger.
Yeah.
And removing it from the book not only completely undermines this message, but also completely undermines people who had to fight for the right to be accepted in society. No, I didn't. I wasn't going to say party. Fucking asshole.
I hate Kiss.
Kiss.
Wait, no,
that was
wasn't them.
Beastie Boys.
Well, whatever. All those horrible bands just kind of meld together in my mind.
Blend together.
I was thinking rock and roll all night and party every day. That's what I was thinking.
You know what? This is.
I'm sorry. This digression was completely pointless, and I'm sorry for it.
And as Roger Ebert so aptly put it, and I agree with him completely, he'd much rather be called a nigger than a slave. And with that, let's just mosey on into something else, unless you have something else to say.
Well, let's just discuss Mr. Ebert.
All right. I have a lot of respect for the man personally.
Yes, I personally agree with that. I would much rather be called a nigger than a slave because
of course, us being white boys, we don't have to be called either, so I guess we have no right to our opinion. Fucking fascists.
But a nigger was basically somebody who was just ignorant. You dumb, ignorant nigger. Shut up. But a slave is somebody who is actual property, owned. I'd much rather have my freedom.
Yeah, nigger was definitely meant to be. Well, it was used as a disrespectful epithet, but slave is definitely, I think, has a more negative connotation.
Yes. And also, if we don't educate young people as to
the importance,
and the
way I use importance sort of as a sort of canned word, the importance of the word nigger in our history. And it does have an important place in our history, even if it is not necessarily a happy place. But then again, there aren't many happy places in our history. Our 200 years have been filled with wars. No, this is a history of any country. Wars, racism, inequality for women, mob violence.
Regular violence,
unjust laws, prohibition, the current pointless drug war that's going to be lost.
Countercultures,
which I don't necessarily think are a bad thing.
And also,
And also the thing that's happened since 9/11, which is the massive expansion of our military budget and the massive repeal of our freedoms as citizens, and the fact that we seem to be happy to just sit here and let it happen. And I'm doing it too. I'm not doing anything. I want to be doing something, but what the fuck can I do? I'm just some shithead that doesn't know nothing.
Doesn't know nothing.
I doesn't know nothing on Cape Cod. I can't do shit.
You don't know nothing.
And I think it was Benjamin Franklin who says it. Those who would sacrifice their freedoms to gain security deserves neither and shall receive neither.
Amen.
And it's only a matter of time before what America has become as an empire really does collapse into itself. And it's not going to fall like other empires have fallen, I don't think. Other empires have fallen by their own greed. Well, I think this is how we are going to fall. But they've been systematically destroyed by their enemies. I think we're going to implode. I think we are going to become a society that can no longer support itself, and eventually we're going to fall in on ourselves. I'm not saying this is going to happen in our lifetime. It might not happen in several lifetimes, several generations.
And it'll probably be taken over by Canada and Mexico. Sweet. I'm going north of the border, motherfucker. Pardon?
I said I personally welcome our new Canadian insect overlords.
Fuck it, I'm going north of the border, motherfucker.
All hail the hive mind.
You know, shit, Canada's got nothing to do but sort of kick back and just say, hey, I had nothing to do with it.
Canada has nothing to do but sit back and say, eh?
Eh? I had nothing to do with it, eh?
Oh.
It's all those dumbasses who live below me, eh? And then put on a pretty face whenever Barack Obama goes down or up there. And
Canada may be our hat, but we're Canada's ass warmer.
Yes, and Mexico is our beard.
I was thinking more like Mexico's our cock ring.
The fuck?
Well, think about it. No, wait, did I say Canada? I meant Mexico.
Mexico is our cock ring.
Well, think about it. We have a relationship with Mexico, much like a man has with his cock ring. Think about it. We don't want to admit we have this sort of relationship with Mexico. We want to block Mexico out of our lives as much as possible. But somehow Mexico keeps working its way into our lives in awkward times when we really don't want it there. It's like a cock ring, right? It has its purpose, but you don't want anyone else to know about it. And somehow someone's going to find it and bring it up just in front of uncomfortable, presences. And so, yes, Mexico is like a cock ring.
And that's such a pleasant image, Ryan. Thank you for that.
Well, just think it's your own cock ring. And that won't be unpleasant anymore.
I don't have a cock ring.
I don't either. Wink. No.
Who are you, Frenchie?
And again, I don't have a drug problem, so this analogy is totally unaffected, or totally irrelevant to me. That was my illusion there. The coke trade.
And this is just going to, well, this episode has pretty much gone to hell in a handbasket really fucking quick. So I'm the Disgruntled Bassist, and I'm going to cut it early.
Oh, come on, we still have some stuff to discuss.
Yeah, we've got some stuff to discuss, but we're gonna start fresh in a new episode.
Oh,
not
okay.
episode. I mean, part, whatever. You know what I mean? Fuck
yep.
you. So yeah, I'm the Disgruntled Bassist, and you are.
Oh, I'm that guy that talks to the Disgruntled Bassist sometimes.
Right. I'm the Disgruntled Bassist. He's Mr. Cynic, and peace out. Rock on until next part, whatever.
Which will probably be in about